What's up, Koalians? Today I'm actually back with a back-to-back upload because this is probably one of the most significant days for the Plants vs Zombies community in years. No face cam again because I'm still away from home and away from my setup, but again, this one was just so important that I had to make the video. So as you may know, popcap attended Pax West 2025 with a Plants vs Zombies Replanted demo. Now, PAX was yesterday, and in the past 24 hours since it happened, there's been two sources that have come out with information about all of the Plants vs Zombies Replanted new content and even gameplay. So I'm going to be reacting to all this. Now, I'm actually kind of sad because I was actually informed about this event a few weeks ago and asked if I wanted to give the game a try and come along, but living in Australia, it's not exactly convenient. So yeah, things didn't exactly work out for me, but we do actually have some people who went there and documented their experience and got some gameplay, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. So first of all, we have this CG magazine publication written by Dana Eileen, who is an editor who actually attended the event. So the article goes into some pretty important, juicy information here, including information about these bonus levels, which we've been hearing about for a while. So these bonus levels are supposedly levels that existed that people found but were never really released in Plants vs Zombies 1. Now, of course, anyone who knows about them would instantly think of the limbo page from the first game. These are actually mini games that weren't accessible in the game, but they were found in the game's files. And I'm pretty sure they were made into some playable state or something like that. So yeah, but we'll actually see gameplay footage of these so-called bonus levels in the next source, but for now, let's keep reading through this article. So we get some new information about Cloudy Day. Apparently, it's a rainy and cloudy lawn where sunflowers fall asleep and you stop getting sun completely. So yeah, this is actually new information because I'm pretty sure all that EA told us was that this mode didn't have sun falling from the sky, but it looks like now sunflowers won't produce sun either, or at least not completely. Again, we have actual footage of this, which we'll look at soon. New information about Rest in Peace mode. It's revealed to us that it's kind of like the post-game playthroughs of the adventure mode where Crazy Dave picks some plants for you. So you have 6 slots, but 3 of them are used up by plants Crazy Dave picks for you. And as we know, it sends you back to the beginning if you lose. That's the whole point of the mode. But what we didn't know is this is actually post-game content. You don't unlock it until you beat the full adventure. The only new information here about versus mode and co-op is that there's no talk of online play. I mean, this was pretty obvious. I think if they would have actually added online play, it would have been in the trailer. And the fact that there's no talk of it proves that it's not really a priority moving on to the future as well, if this game even gets updates. If you're one of those deniers who thought surely there would be online play, unfortunately, looks like the chances are 0. No plans for DLC either, and then we have this really cryptic, but in my opinion, very significant statement here, which says, this is meant to be the title that the future of the franchise is built upon. That is pretty intriguing. So does this mean this is going to be a new direction? Are they kind of going to try and put BFN and Plants vs Zombies 3 in the back seat and kind of move forwards with a more classic view of the franchise? I sure as hell hope so. And then lastly for this article, we have news that there's actually a retro zombie skin on top of the pre-order bonus pea shooter skin. And in just a moment, we'll actually be told how we can actually unlock this thing. That's actually in the next source, which is a video uploaded by Geeks vs Geeks on YouTube, where they've done an exclusive developer interview and they've actually shown exclusive gameplay of the demo. But if you don't have 26 minutes 38, I'm just going to go over the essentials that you kind of need to know from this. I'm going to be reacting to this stuff. So first and foremost, we have the menu here, and what do you know? It's basically the first game's menu. They've taken inspiration from the Game of the Year or PC edition, obviously, except with this extra little co-op and versus thing here. And then we're brought over to this menu, which we've seen before as per the screenshots from EA themselves. But interestingly, we can see that there is the option to go through the levels, and there's a little pictures of the levels. So I assume when you actually beat the levels, you can go back to this menu here and replay them. And this is very similar to how the menu works in the mobile version. And obviously this is really intuitive because in the first game, you had to go through each level sequentially. So let's just say you wanted to replay level 5-2. You would have to replay all 41 levels in order to get back to 5-2 in the original version of this game. But now it looks like once you beat a level, you have the option to replay it. So the next really cool bit of information here is that Cloudy Day is treated like the other adventure stages where you can replay the levels and play through them at your own will. And they're given a menu with level 1, level 2, level 3. So it kind of looks like as if they're treating this as a 6th stage kind of deal. I mean, I assume it's probably not part of the adventure itself, but this is pretty cool to see. We're only shown that there's 7 levels, but I guess there could be more and they just didn't scroll all the way, I don't know. And then here we get confirmation of these so-called bonus levels. And as the article said, these are all just limbo page reuse minigames. So as you can see here, a lot of them are shown, but not all of them, because again, they stop scrolling part of the way through. So I don't know if there's more than what's shown here, but I'm going to explain what each of these minigames actually are, because again, we already know what these are because they're in the files of the first game. For the most part, Art Challenge Walnut and Art Challenge Sunflower. These play just like the Seeing Stars minigame, but with Walnut and Sunflower outlines respectively. Sunny Day. Each sun drop is 50 like Plants vs Zombies 2 instead of 25. Unsorted. The top and bottom lanes can't be planted on. Big time. Sunflower, Marigold, and Walnut are all made bigger and their abilities are amplified. Air Raid. This is just a fog level with lots of balloon zombies, not to be confused with the awesome DS minigame unfortunately, and we know this because the picture shown is just of a bunch of balloon zombies. Honestly, this is really sad because I really liked playing the Air Raid minigame. It was one of the coolest parts about the DS version, but oh well. Ice level. So this one's really interesting. In the limbo page, it was essentially an empty level that was confirmed to be an April Fool's joke by George Fan himself. So I really want to see what they do with this one, because since it was just an empty level, they basically have an empty canvas here. I assume maybe they might go with some standard level except plants freeze or something, kind of like Frostbite Caves in the second game. But this is probably the most mysterious and perhaps even most original piece of content that's going to be in this game, because we literally have no idea what it entails. High Gravity. A level with, well, high gravity that causes projectiles to immediately fall down. Grave Danger. This one only spawns zombies from gravestones. Can you dig it? An entire lane of walnuts that you need to dig up to plant pea shooters. So this is all that's shown, and to be honest, I wouldn't expect too many more bonus levels from what's shown here. It is kind of sad that the new content here is just levels that are outtakes or unused from the original game, but at least we have one kind of new bit of content to look forward to, that being the ice level. And of course, they are going to chop and change all the other mini games because again, they were unfinished and just in the game's files. So this has actually got me really interested. In the survival menu, we can see down at the bottom, we have this China mode. I don't know why it's called China. I mean, the only reference to China in the original game was when you scrolled all the way down to the bottom in the achievements menu and you could like dig your way to China or whatever. But it actually shows a Zombotany pea shooter's head. So unless this is some kind of placeholder thing or some way they're going to try and implement that whole China reference in the first game, this could potentially be some kind of Zombotany survival or Zombotany survival endless stage. So this got me really excited, to be honest. And then this kind of mail thing here in the bottom right of the almanac menu. I assume this could be where you change your skins, but I'm not too sure. So yeah, moving into the actual gameplay, a lot of it is just stuff that you could expect. I mean, the only significant change we can see so far is that the zombies don't all have their tongues out like in the preview pictures that EA showed us. So yeah, unfortunately, not every zombie is going to be freaky like we thought. Well, probably fortunately, to be honest. I mean, I saw saw a lot of people complaining about that. Way more importantly though, we have gameplay footage of cloudy day mode. So you can see the clouds, it's raining, and then it looks like it transitions in and out of the clouds and rain. So it looks like sometimes it just acts as a normal level, but then the clouds come and then sun stops coming from the sky and your sunflowers fall asleep. So yeah, this looks really cool to be honest, and I've just noticed actually in the bottom right of this footage here, we can see that this is a placeholder name for Cloudy Day level 9. So although I said they only showed 7 levels on the menu, it looks like there's going to be more than that. So all the other gameplay in the video is pretty standard, but at the very end, as part of that interview with the developers mentioned some crucial details about the 8-bit retro zombie skin. So unlike the pea shooter skin where you actually have to pre-order the game to get it, the zombie skin is going to be available to everyone apparently. Now I don't know if you have to unlock it by doing something in the game or if they just straight up give it to you, but that's pretty cool to know, and I'm glad that they're just doing something like that, like just giving us something for free. It's very un-EA/popcap like. So overall, what are my feelings on all this? If you've watched my past videos, you know that I was probably the #1 Plants vs Zombies Replanted defender, and it felt like I was defending the game against basically the whole Plants vs Zombies community's outrage. My stance has shifted a little bit now after seeing this. I mean, I think it's more justified for people to have strong opinions about this game now that we know basically everything that's going to be in it, and some of the mysteries like the bonus levels have been solved for us. Personally, I'm not so optimistic anymore. I mean, I'm still going to buy the game obviously, and I think it's still pretty cool and it's probably worth it, especially for new players. But does it offer a lot compared to the $5 Game of the Year edition, which they've actually confirmed is going to stay up on Steam? Now, I can't really say so. I should note that this is a demo, so things can obviously change, but it doesn't look like there's anything too groundbreaking here, and honestly, with the bonus levels, I am a little bit disappointed because, again, they're not completely new. I mean, they're technically new, but there were ways to play them before, and they were in the game's files and stuff. So anyways, let me know what you all think about all of this, and I'll see you all in the next one.